Let's have a look at PrintFASTQ, the simple yet powerful print estimating software. We see here the list of estimates. Let's make the estimate and see how simple it is. We are making an estimate of booklet. We fill in the job of description. Now we can enter client name and address. Open size 9 by 5.5. Close size 4.5 by 5.5. We can make the estimate for 5 quantities in one shot. Any quantities can be altered later. We may enter commission, agency commission effect. Markup required on the job in the 3 parts separately can be selected here. Example, paper, labor and processing. PrintFASTQ architecture has been specifically designed keeping printing process in mind, as every job has a sections. Here too we have an option of making section in the estimate. We will now make the first section of the booklet. We enter the section name cover, then the section size, then the color of the section 4+4. This section is single sheet which will fold into 4 pages. Now let's have a look at various possibilities of layout. Various print parameters can be selected. Example, if the forms need folding, whether the grain is applicable, and the side margin, bleeding and the gripper override can be either reduced or increased based on the job requirement. For the current sample, we leave all this in default state and proceed ahead to see the optimizer result. Here is a complete list of all possibilities we can print this job. This powerful multi-step optimizer finds out every possibility and generates a complete chart with a diagram and sort the list on wastage. Let's look at second possibilities. Here we can take the job smaller spreadsheet with 4 arcs printing. Similarly, we can see all possibilities with the respective layouts being shown at bottom. Let's browse through the various possibilities to have a feel of it. Now let's go back and select the desired layout with the machine and the paper size on which we desire to take the job. Let's define the paper name. GSM. Rate of the paper. Let's select the processing. What we see on the left side is our predefined rate cards. On the right side is our estimate processing. What we just have to do is simply drag and drop the applicable items from the left to the right. That's it. We proceed ahead to plate making. In the similar fashions, we have the rates cards on the left and the right is estimates. We drag and drop desired plates. The system automatically calculates the number of plates required for the job. Let's save the current section and go back to the estimate. Let's select the new section. For inner 80 pages. Size and color 1+1. 20 final sheets will make 80 pages. Let's proceed to the optimizer and see the layout. We will leave this parameter as it is and proceed for the various printing combination. We select the desired machine and layout and select that combination to print. We enter the name of paper for inner 80 pages and the GSM for the inner and the rate of paper. Now again, let's proceed to define the processing for the inner. Let's drag and drop the one color positive from the rate cards to the current estimate. Now let's select the plates for the inner section. Just drag and drop the desired plates into the current estimates. Note that the plates required for inner are calculated automatically. Now let's save the inner section and go back to the estimate screen. Let's define the fabrication for the job. We will select creasing. Drag and drop cutting. And binding. Based on the definition of these fabrication head, the system automatically calculates the charges for the selected fabrication process. We have now completed the entry for the estimate. Let's save the estimate. If we need the estimate for any difference quantity as entered before, then we can enter the desired quantity and like a breeze, the estimate for new quantity will be calculated automatically. On this just one screen, we can select any quantity and see the details working of the estimate section wise in the window below. Let's see the details of working of the inner. We have 80 pages, that is 20 final cut sheets, and selected a layout with 4 ups. In the forms details, 5 sets of the forms will be required to cover 20 sheets. The system automatically found out that the self-back is not required for the inner section. Detailed calculations are shown in the chart below. For example, press sheets required, wastage sheet required, impression per plates, total impression, number of plates, extra plates if any, and the prints rates automatically picked up from the press rate cards based on the number of impression. This shown in the inside of complete working of the section. Let's now have a look at the output of the estimates. What the system generates. In the beginning is the job details as we have entered and the quantity for which estimate is required. Now for each of the sections, example cover. First the layout we selected is shown. The ordering paper cut into 4 outs and the press sheets with 4 ups. We see the summary of the cover with the forms detail and the paper calculations. The amount of paper required to print the cover is shown for the first quantity we have entered. We see the pre-pressed detail for the cover. Select 4 colors positive and the plates required for cover. The rates for the printing 1000 impression per color. Form details of inner. The number of form sets required to print 20 sheets for 80 pages and the paper requirement for the inner 80 pages. And at the end, the post-press operation we selected like creasing, cutting and binding for the booklet. Here we see the complete chart for all the 5 quantities. We desire the estimate to be made. For each section, we see the paper, processing and labor. markups on the job individually for the paper processing and labor, and at the end we see the charge per piece of each of the quantities we entered. This is the internal estimate working. We shall now see how the client's code can be directly generated from PrintFASTQ, which can be directly printed and sent to clients or email. Now we see the details of the second section. The client's code can be pre-configured with the terms of the company, which will automatically appear in the client's copy. Now let's see how easy it is to modify the estimate if there is any changes in the job. Let's make a change in the inner to have 92 pages. It is very simple. Just make the open sheets to 23 and pages to 92. And select the same layout as selected earlier. Note that PrintFASTQ intelligently calculates the forms required and makes several forms layout. There are 5 forms set having 16 pages, that is 4 sheets on each form, and for the sheet 21 and 22, that is pages 81 to 88. We have cell pack with 2 exposures for each sheet, and for the sheet 23, that is pages 89 to 92. We have cell pack with 4 exposures. Let's see the client copy of the modified estimate. Let's save the changes. Let's see the modified code with the 5 quantities. We hope you enjoyed looking at PrintFASTQ, simple yet powerful print estimating software. With its built-in high degree optimizer, PrintFASTQ makes the best build for the estimators. Thank you.